Mm. So, hi everyone. Today, I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now, but I never really knew how to start it or exactly what to say. But today, I'm going to talk about my eating disorder story. But before I do get into it, I do want to say a couple things. If things like this trigger you or stuff, please don't watch it and just exit out, because that is not my intention. And another thing, I am not fully recovered yet, but I'm on my way to recovery. And the last thing is, I don't just have an eating disorder. I have an eating disorder, major depression, and anxiety. But I don't want to make it like an extremely long video, so today I'm just going to be talking about my eating disorder. And I'm going to be talking about the way how it happened, throughout the years and stuff. So I'm gonna start off from when I was little. When I was 3 years old, from what I remember, when I was 3 years old, well, when I was little, I was really, really skinny. Like, I would see pictures and I was really skinny. When I was 3 years old, I remember I always wanted to do exercise, and I would get on my mom's treadmill because she always had like workout machines since I was little, and I remember I would get on the treadmill, and when I would get off, I would stretch my shirt like this and be like, wow, look at how much weight I lost. Which obviously, that doesn't mean you lose weight or whatever. When I was 9 years old, I remember the teacher, she took a picture of us for like some project or something, and obviously we got to take the picture home, and I hated how I looked. I felt ugly, I felt fat and everything. So I scratched the picture up. Obviously my mom got mad, but I never really liked how I looked. When I was 12 years old, I always told myself I'm gonna stop eating the next day. Like, I'll eat a lot one day, and then I'll be like, tomorrow I'm not gonna eat at all. I did that for quite some time, but I never, stopped eating. I still ate, like I wasn't anorexic yet. When I was 14, I remember, when I was 13, I did like someone, and, it was like whatever, right? But when I was 14 years old, I remember that I was in Earth Science class first period, and I sat in the front and he sat in the back or whatever, and I just remember him telling his friends, oh my gosh, she's fat. Well, they said my name, but they're like, I never noticed how fat she is. And that just did it for me, like, I went home, I went to the bathroom, and all I saw was fat. Fat everywhere, my arms, my legs, my face, my stomach, everywhere. So from that day, I stopped eating. I remember that I didn't eat anything at all till like 9 at night because I couldn't help it, but I ate a bowl of cereal. But I noticed that I lost a lot of weight, and I did this for like 9 months or whatever. But it got really bad though, because at school, I've always felt like this arm is bigger than this arm. Like, I feel like that's how it is. I still feel like that. So I remember at school, that way I wouldn't show my fatness. Like, how people write like this? I would write like really close to me. That way people don't see my arm fatness. Or I will remember that I felt like one leg was bigger than the other leg. And I always felt like that. But anyways, so I stopped eating. I will eat like once a day if I like the food. If not, I didn't eat anything at all. And I was doing all that to be like, I'm gonna prove to him that I'm not fat. And at that point, I didn't even like him anymore. I was just like, I wanted to prove that I wasn't fat. Oh, but I forgot to tell you, when I was 13, when I was promoting from, what's it called? 8th grade, my sister, she was a senior, and she was graduating from high school. And I remember I kept telling myself, I'm gonna lose lots of weight, that way I look pretty in a dress from when I graduate. But that was just like a little thing, But anyways, so the things that happened, what was it? I'm kind of nervous to tell this story, I'm sorry. But anyway, so I stopped eating. Because I stopped eating, I lost a lot of hair. I did lose a lot of weight, but I lost a lot of hair. My gums started to bleed really bad. I stopped having my period, and I always had stomach aches, and I would always feel dizzy. And one time I did faint, but I'll get into that later. So I stopped eating for a long time, right? My parents never found out. Nobody ever found out because my parents were never really at home because they were always working. My sister said that, she did notice that I lost weight and that I didn't eat that much, but she never figured that it would happen to me, And my brother, he was too little to understand. So anyways, so I did that for a long time. When I was, one time, I think I was, when I was 15, one time, I was gonna take a shower. I was going to take a shower, and I felt super, super dizzy, so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna risk it. So I got out, because my parents' room, there's a bathroom in their room, so that's the shower I used to use. When I got out, I fainted, and I literally blacked out. Like, I don't even know for how long it was. I just remember when I woke up, my clothes and everything were on the floor, but somehow I landed like sitting on a bin, and I got really scared, and I told my parents, but I told my parents that I fainted, but I still didn't tell them that I was anorexic or anything. But anyway, but later on, I did end up telling my parents, because for me, that was kind of my suicide, because I knew what I was doing to my body. Like, people might think, oh, it's doing this, but I knew how it was affecting my inside and my outside. I knew how it was. But I was always like, I'm one step closer to dying. I remember I would weigh myself 3 times every single day. Like 3 times every single day without nobody finding out. So when I told my parents about that when I was 15 years old, I told them, everything. My mom got really worried. She told me that I should, because I felt depressed too, and that's one of the things, if you're anorexic, it kind of leads to depression, and depression kind of, to anxiety. So when I was 15, I told my parents, right? And this was when I was a sophomore. I told my parents, and my parents are like, we need to take you to the doctors, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was just going to be like, oh, they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, and then there, I thought I was going to come back home, but that's not how it went. When I went to the doctors, I told them, and this was in December, a little bit before Christmas, I told them that they asked me, I was diagnosed with anorexia, an eating disorder, and I was diagnosed with major depression. And they asked me, do you not want to live? And I told them, no, I don't want to live. Sometimes I wish I wasn't born and stuff like that. And they took that very seriously, and they told me to go to the emergency room. And I was like, okay, so my parents took me there, and I was there from like 10 in the morning, probably till like 10:30 at night. And I thought they were just gonna, take me home or whatever. Like, I don't even know why I was there, whatever. And that's what I thought was gonna happen. And, sorry. Anyways, where was I? That's what I thought was gonna happen. But when I was there, I did eat when I was there because I'm like, I don't want them to, whatever, like to be like, oh, you're not eating, you're gonna stay longer. So I did eat there, and I remember a cop always had to watch me and stuff because they thought that I was gonna commit suicide and stuff. And I remember at the end, this lady came and she told me that I need to go to like a hospital, a different hospital. Everybody there called it a mental hospital, but I don't know exactly the correct name or whatever. But everybody there, called it that. Everybody there called it that, right? And I thought my parents were gonna say no and stuff, cause the first they're like, oh, you're gonna be there for 3 days. I was way longer than 3 days. I think it was like a week or something, but it was like 3 hours away from where I lived. I didn't even know where it was or anything. But they told my parents that if they don't send me, I could die, and they said that it's actually like if they don't send me since I was underage and stuff, it will look really bad on them, and it will look like they didn't care about me. So they sent me. I went in. They put me in a gurney. I went in an ambulance, and they sent me. When I was over there, I didn't like it. I was alone. I didn't know anyone or anything, and they were going to send me to a place that was specifically just for eating disorder, but because I also had major depression and wanted to commit suicide and stuff, they they sent me to a place that specifically was for people that were kids that were suicidal, because there they can make sure I'm safe and don't commit suicide, but also track my eating. So I was sent there. When I got there like at 11:30 or 11:40 at night. But when I got there, I was really scared because the first thing they told me to do was take off all my clothes, including underwear and bra and everything, in front of them, because they wanted to make sure that I didn't have any weapons, anything to cut myself with, any drugs or anything. So I was really terrified. And every single morning you know, they would check my blood pressure and stuff. But I will get more into that like in a different story time, like my experience there. So anyways, I missed a week of school, and then it was 2 weeks of winter break. When I got back, I was given a therapist and medication, major depression medication, that I've been taking since I was 15 years old, but now I'm 19, and I take it every single day. I'm still not fully recovered from my eating disorder, but for the first time ever, I have a nutritionist that she is helping me, what to eat and stuff like that, and I've been working out every single day. So, I mean, you don't know what somebody's going through, like not everybody that's super super skinny does not mean they have an eating disorder, but not everybody that's me, like right now I am overweight because medication does, make me gain weight and stuff. But just because somebody's overweight does not mean that they don't have an eating disorder. So that's my eating disorder story. I don't know if I did a good job. I was kind of nervous through the whole thing, but it's something that I really wanted to share with everyone. And next time I'll do my part 2, which is how my eating disorder led to my depression. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.